Earth is full of incredible life, but nothing stuns us quite like the giants that walk, swim, and fly among us. I'm talking about animals so big, so wild, and so incredibly powerful, they almost don't seem real.
Man, you are a big kangaroo. Ooh, those are strong arms.
And you can find them everywhere, from the super deep ocean to the highest mountain peaks. Nature really outdid itself. The cool thing is, now with cameras and drones, we can actually get up close and personal with these giants like never before. And that's exactly what we're doing today. We're going to count down the top 20 largest animals you've ever seen. Orangutan, the gentle giant of the trees. You might have seen footage like this, caught near some remote village. And seriously, this massive orangutan is so huge, people actually thought they were seeing Bigfoot. But nope, it's totally real, and it's one of nature's most powerful primates. Did you know orangutans are some of the biggest tree-dwelling animals on the planet? A full-grown male can stand almost 5 feet tall and weigh anywhere from 100 to 200 pounds. Females are usually a bit smaller, but still incredibly strong. The biggest one ever officially recorded, a Borneo orangutan named Keo, actually stood over 5.5 feet tall and weighed around 250 pounds. But these animals aren't just big, they're also super smart. We've seen orangutans in the forests of Borneo using sticks to fish out bugs, and they even hold leaves over their heads to stay dry, just like little umbrellas. Unlike chimps or gorillas who hang out in groups, orangutans mostly live alone. The moms raise their babies by themselves, and adults spend most of their lives swinging solo from tree to tree, using those incredibly long, powerful arms. And just when you thought orangutans were big, let me introduce you to their ancient cousin, Gigantopithecus. This prehistoric ape lived around 1 million years ago in parts of Asia. And get this, it stood over 10 feet tall and weighed more than 1,200 pounds. Talk about a walking giant. Scientists believe it was the absolute biggest ape to ever walk the earth, but sadly, it went extinct a long time ago. Blossom, the tallest cow. All right, buckle up, because if you think you've seen a big cow, get ready for your mind to be completely blown. The creature we're about to talk about will literally make you say, "Holy cow." Meet Blossom, the truly remarkable bovine who didn't just stand tall. She actually made history, shattering the Guinness World Record as the tallest cow ever recorded. Now, just try to imagine this. A cow that stood an absolutely incredible 6 feet 4 inches tall. Seriously, let that sink in for a moment. That's taller than most grown men. And as if her height wasn't astonishing enough, she also weighed in at around 2,000 pounds, which is nearly double the size of your average cow. Blossom didn't just turn heads out in the pasture. She absolutely dominated, towering over every other animal and completely transforming the landscape just by being there. Can you even picture walking right up to her, feeling like you're standing next to a small horse, complete with horns? It must have been a truly humbling and unforgettable sight. But here's the really fascinating part, the beautiful twist in her story. Despite her monumental size, Blossom was widely known for her incredibly sweet and gentle nature. She lived a wonderfully peaceful life on a farm right here in the United States. And it was from this quiet setting that she blossomed into a worldwide sensation after officially earning her world record. Sadly, Blossom's incredible journey came to an end on May 26, 2015, after she suffered a leg injury. Yet, her legacy continues to inspire and resonate. She remains absolutely etched in history as the most magnificent, the biggest bovine beauty the world has ever had the immense privilege to witness. The red kangaroo, Australia's muscle machine. Imagine standing face to face with a kangaroo that's not only taller than you, but also more ripped than a professional bodybuilder and looks absolutely ready to throw down. Welcome, my friends, to the incredible world of the red kangaroo, truly the largest and strongest marsupial on our planet. Out in the vast, wild Australian outback, these magnificent red kangaroos can grow up to a staggering 6 feet tall and weigh over 200 pounds. And here's the truly astonishing part. Nearly half of that entire weight is pure, unadulterated muscle. This isn't just for show either. Male kangaroos actually engage in intense, ritualized fights for the right to mate. They box, they punch, and they deliver incredibly powerful kicks with their massive hind legs. It's kind of like a UFC match, but, you know, with fur and a tail. The bigger and more muscular the kangaroo, the better his chances of winning these contests and, ultimately, attracting a mate. And when it comes to legends among these incredible creatures, none stands taller or more famously than Roger, quite possibly the most renowned red kangaroo in the world. Roger lived at the Kangaroo Sanctuary in Alice Springs, and became a global sensation in 2015 when a video went viral showing him effortlessly crushing a metal bucket with his bare paws. He stood a towering 6.5 feet tall and genuinely looked like a professional wrestler draped in fur. With his incredibly wide chest and those absolutely jacked arms, Roger was legendary for dominating other males and protecting his territory like a true alpha. He wasn't just strong, he was utterly unforgettable. Pangolin, the armored anteater. Think that animal's wearing a suit of armor? Nope, that's just how the pangolin looks. These incredible creatures are the only mammals in the world completely covered in tough, overlapping scales made of keratin, like our fingernails. Those scales aren't just for show, they're vital for protecting them from predators. Often called scaly anteaters, pangolins use their super long, sticky tongues, some stretching over 16 inches, to slurp up ants and termites. They can grow from about a foot to over 3 feet long, living mostly in the warm forests of Africa and Asia, and are typically active at night, relying on their amazing sense of smell. But here's the tough part. As unique as they are, pangolins are in serious trouble. They're the most illegally trafficked mammals globally, hunted for their meat and scales, which, sadly, people wrongly believe have healing powers. This just shows how amazing and how vulnerable these animals truly are. If we want future generations to see them in the wild, they need our protection now more than ever. Zeus, the record-breaking Shire horse. Next up, get ready to meet a horse so colossal, so utterly magnificent, he didn't just turn heads, he shattered records. This, my friends, is Zeus, the legendary Shire horse, and trust me when I say, he was anything but your average stallion. Imagine a horse standing over 6.5 feet tall at the shoulder. Think about that for a second. That's significantly taller than most people you know. And his weight? Nearly 3,000 pounds. With a build that massive, Zeus wasn't just a farm animal, he was a living, breathing tank, a gentle giant that defied expectations. Now, for those unfamiliar, Shire horses are among the largest equine breeds on the planet, with roots stretching back to the English countryside. For centuries, they were the ultimate heavy lifters of the old world, the powerful engines behind carts, wagons, and plows. And Zeus, he was the epitome of just how much incredible power and majesty this breed could embody.
Ooh.
But here's where the story gets truly inspiring. Don't let his sheer size fool you. Zeus wasn't some wild, intimidating beast. Oh no, he possessed a spirit as grand as his stature. Gentle, remarkably calm, and blessed with a sweet personality that enchanted people across the globe. It was truly astonishing to witness such a massive creature display such impeccable behavior, especially when you consider how challenging giant horses can often be to manage. Zeus often found himself in the company of other equine legends, mentioned in the same breath as titans like Big Jake, who holds the record as the tallest horse ever at over 9 feet, and Samson, also known as Mammoth, the heaviest horse on record. While Zeus's time making history was tragically cut short, his incredible legacy endures. He proved to the world the astonishing combination of strength, tenderness, and pure wonder that a Shire horse embodies. This footage of Zeus isn't just amazing, it's a testament to the extraordinary, a moment in time that truly is unforgettable. The biggest gorilla. The next animal we're diving into is truly one of the biggest and strongest land mammals on Earth, and when they reach this kind of size, they're not just powerful, they can be absolutely terrifying. This gorilla, captured on camera in India, honestly looks like something ripped straight out of a movie. It's massive, incredibly muscular, and unbelievably tall. Experts estimate it stands over 7 feet tall when it's upright. Just think about that for a second. That's taller than most professional basketball players, and it weighs nearly as much as a small car. Now, here's the thing you need to understand. Gorillas are already incredibly strong animals, but when they grow to this kind of size, let's just say you really, really don't want to get too close. With their incredibly thick, powerful arms, their wide chests, and their astonishing grip strength, one wrong move could genuinely be dangerous. But let's not get it twisted. Gorillas aren't monsters. In reality, they're typically calm and highly intelligent creatures. They live in close-knit family groups, and usually prefer to keep to themselves. In the wild, their diet consists mostly of plants and fruit, and they only become aggressive if they feel genuinely threatened. Still, seeing one this massive up close is an absolutely unforgettable experience. It really makes you stop and wonder, just how strong are these giants really? So, imagine this scenario. A full-grown gorilla standing in a field, facing off against 100 full-grown men. Who do you honestly think would win that battle? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Shoebill stork. Alright, have you ever encountered a bird that, just from the sound it makes you instinctively wonder if a war has just broken out nearby? Because if not, you're about to. That, my friends, is the shoebill stork. With a call that legitimately sounds like rapid gunfire, this isn't just a bird that looks terrifying. It actually sounds like pure chaos. Standing between 4 and 5 feet tall, with a wingspan stretching close to 8 feet, the shoebill stork truly looks like something that's flown straight out of the dinosaur age. But it's that giant, unmistakable shoe-shaped beak that really makes it unforgettable. We're talking nearly 8 inches long and built like a precision weapon. This massive bill isn't just for show. It's what they use to snatch up fish, frogs, even young crocodiles and small birds, crushing them with a single brutal snap. Shoebills are absolute masters of the ambush. They can stand completely motionless for what feels like an eternity, utterly silent. And then, in a flash, they strike. When they do, it's like nature's very own jump scare, sudden and startling. Even though these incredible creatures can fly, their wing beats are slow and heavy, which only adds to their strange, almost ancient appearance. It's no wonder at all that people have nicknamed them living fossils. But like so many of the unique wild creatures on our planet, the shoebill is now facing serious danger. Their crucial swampy home in East Africa is rapidly shrinking due to habitat loss. And sadly, their future in the wild is far from guaranteed. So, if you ever get the chance to see one, whether it's in real life or just on a screen, take a moment. You'll be witnessing one of the most unique and, frankly, most eerie birds still walking this earth. Aragon Veno, the bodybuilder bull. You've heard of bodybuilders, right? But have you ever actually seen a cow that looks like it just walked straight out of a gym, completely ripped? Well, get ready to meet Aragon Veno, a bull often hailed as the most muscular in the entire world. And trust me, once you lay eyes on him, you'll immediately understand why. Aragon is a Belgian blue, a breed of cattle that is genuinely unlike anything you've ever encountered before. These animals are famous for something truly unique called double muscling. It's a rare genetic mutation that causes their muscles to just keep growing, non-stop. It's almost as if the off switch for muscle development simply doesn't exist in their DNA. The result? Absolutely massive shoulders, incredibly thick backs, bulging legs, and a frame so unbelievably pumped, it almost doesn't look real. Aragon doesn't just walk, he struts with the imposing presence of a living tank. This bull is so incredibly muscular, you can literally see the definition in his body, just like a professional athlete. Belgian blue bulls, like Aragon, can easily weigh well over 2,000 pounds, and they carry significantly less fat than most other cattle breeds. However, all that extraordinary muscle does come with a few challenges. These animals can actually be more fragile than their appearance suggests, and because of their immense size, many calves have to be delivered by C-section. Natural breeding simply isn't easy when you're built like a solid wall of muscle. Even with these unique hurdles, Belgian blues remain a favorite in the meat industry because they grow incredibly fast and strong. But Aragon, he's in a league entirely his own, a true, real-life beast of pure muscle and undeniable power. The giant otter. Now here's a sight you truly don't stumble upon every day. A jaguar, one of the apex predators of its domain, actually losing a fight to an otter. Deep within the wild, sprawling wetlands of southern Brazil, a team of researchers managed to capture an absolutely incredible moment. 2 jaguar sisters, known as Medrosa and Jaju, had locked their predatory eyes onto what looked like an easy, solitary target, a lone giant otter. But what unfolded next completely stunned everyone watching. Instead of turning tail and fleeing, that otter stood its ground. And within mere seconds, its entire crew, its whole family, showed up, ready for battle. These aren't your average river otters, by the way. Giant otters can grow up to a staggering 6 feet long and weigh around 75 pounds. They are incredibly fast, fiercely territorial, and perfectly built for life in the water. With their long, sleek bodies and powerful webbed feet, they're not just amazing swimmers, they're even better hunters. Local tribes, in fact, refer to them as water jaguars because of their hunting prowess, their fluid movements, and crucially, how fiercely they protect their own. These otters live in incredibly tight-knit family units, often called rafts, and when one of them is in danger, the others appear, absolutely ready to fight. And that's precisely what happened in this astonishing encounter. Together, this determined group of otters managed to successfully drive off 2 jaguars, which are, let's remember, among the most feared predators in all of the Americas. The otters didn't just defend their territory, they utterly owned it in that moment. What began as a jaguar's hunt quickly transformed into an unforgettable lesson in teamwork and raw courage. And at that precise moment, the river didn't belong to the big cats. It belonged unequivocally to the otters. The giant rat, bigger than your pet cat? Okay, imagine a rat. Now hit the size up button until it's as big as a house cat, maybe even edging into small dog territory. Not fiction, not Photoshop, this is real life. Meet the Gambian pouched rat, a creature that looks like it took one too many power-ups in the rodent world. We're talking 3 feet long, pushing 4 pounds, and no, that's not including the tail. This thing makes your average city rat look like a snack. It's not some mutant escapee from a lab either. This is an actual species, and it's not just big, it's built. Muscular legs, a tail like a cable wire, and those cheek pouches, they expand like grocery bags. Because yes, these guys hoard like it's an Olympic sport. Here's the twist though. Some people keep them as pets. Yep, on purpose. And in parts of Africa, they're doing serious work, sniffing out landmines and tuberculosis with accuracy that rivals high-tech machines. So we've got a rodent that's giant, clever, and functional. But the million-dollar question is, if you walked into your kitchen at midnight and saw this thing on the counter, would you calmly reach for the treats or set the house on fire? Be honest. Now tell us, would you let this giant rat crash on your couch? Drop your answer in the comments. Brave souls only. The giant rabbit. When you think of rabbits, you probably picture something small, fluffy, and perfectly sized to cuddle in your arms, right? Well, prepare to completely rethink that image. Get ready to meet Darius, a rabbit so unbelievably massive, he could literally stretch out across your entire couch. This is absolutely not your average backyard bunny. Darius is a continental giant rabbit, and even at just 1 year old, he already measured nearly 3 feet 8 inches long. Yes, you heard that correctly. A rabbit the size of a toddler. And here's the wildest part. Darius still hasn't even reached his full size yet. His dad is even bigger, stretching out to over 4 feet long, and he's more than 5 years old. But Darius is growing at an incredible rate, and his caretaker is convinced he's going to surpass his father very soon. While most continental giant rabbits do get pretty substantial, they rarely reach this kind of scale. Rabbits over 3 feet long are already a rare sight, but a rabbit pushing close to 4 feet? That's almost unheard of. Yet despite his truly enormous size, Darius is just as gentle and utterly adorable as any pet rabbit you could imagine. He happily munches on his veggies, absolutely loves a good cuddle, and has become quite the celebrity within the entire rabbit world. And so if you ever thought you'd seen a big bunny before, I guarantee Darius will make you do a double take. Cassius, crocodile. Now, just try to imagine standing next to a crocodile, one that's actually longer than a car. Prepare to meet Cassius, the undisputed largest crocodile ever kept in captivity. This absolute beast measures a jaw-dropping 18 feet long and weighs in at over 2,900 pounds. Just let that sink in for a moment. That's heavier than a full-size pickup truck, and almost as long too. Cassius is so incredibly massive, simply watching him move is enough to make your heart skip a beat. He resides in Australia, in a specialized enclosure that was built just for him. And trust me, it's definitely not the kind of place you'd want to casually hang out in, unless you have a serious penchant for living dangerously. One wrong move, and you could very well become lunch. Crocodiles are already renowned as some of the most powerful reptiles on Earth, boasting crushing jaws and lightning-fast reflexes. But Cassius, he's operating on a completely different plane. He's a living dinosaur, a true legend in the reptile world. Most people will never, ever get to see a crocodile of this colossal size in their lifetime. And honestly, that might be a good thing, because when you find yourself anywhere near Cassius, you quickly come to a profound realization. You are most definitely not at the top of the food chain anymore. Caucasian shepherd. They say dogs are man's best friend, right? But what if your best friend was the size of a bear? Get ready to meet Godzilla, though his real name is Zafir, a Caucasian shepherd so incredibly massive, he genuinely looks like something that walked straight out of a fantasy film. This isn't just a big dog. He's nearly 10 times larger than your average house pet. Yes, you heard that right, 10 times. Caucasian shepherds were originally bred for a very specific purpose, to guard livestock in the rugged mountains of Eastern Europe and Russia. So, it makes perfect sense that they were built for immense strength, impressive size, and unwavering courage. These dogs are natural-born protectors, known for being incredibly bold and constantly alert. But here's the wonderful twist. Despite their intimidating stature, they are also unbelievably loyal, deeply loving, and incredibly gentle with the families they protect. Godzilla is the quintessential example of this perfect balance. One minute he's towering over full-grown adults, and the next, He's calmly laying his massive head on someone's lap, acting like the biggest, furriest, most gentle guardian you could imagine. Seeing a dog this huge in real life feels almost surreal. He's got paws the size of dinner plates, a bark that could probably rattle windows, and a presence that definitely makes strangers think twice. But behind all that sheer size is a heart that's just as big, because even the fiercest giants can still be incredibly soft and sweet at their very core. The giant squid. What would you do if a genuine sea monster suddenly glided right past you, emerging from the depths? That's precisely the feeling when this colossal giant squid made a rare appearance near the surface, leaving absolutely everyone who witnessed it completely stunned. Typically, these magnificent creatures prefer to remain hidden in the crushing darkness of the deep ocean, far beyond where any human can venture. So, when one actually appears near the shore, it feels less like a natural occurrence and more like something ripped straight from the pages of an ancient legend. And honestly, it kind of is. This particular squid was estimated to be about 12 feet long, and believe it or not, it was likely still quite young. Full-grown giant squids can reach truly mind-boggling sizes, with some believed to stretch up to 40 feet or even more. With its incredibly long, coiling tentacles and those enormous piercing eyes, it's no surprise at all that this creature inspired terrifying myths like the Kraken, the legendary sea monster that sailors once feared would drag entire ships down into the abyss. And when you see one in real life, it's incredibly easy to believe those chilling stories. Even though this specific squid didn't attack anything, its sudden, unexpected appearance was more than enough to stop people dead in their tracks. It looked ancient, undeniably powerful, and shrouded in an aura of profound mystery. Moments like this serve as a powerful reminder that our oceans still conceal creatures we rarely, if ever, get to see. They whisper to us that some of the most fantastical legends might just be far closer to the truth than we could ever possibly imagine.